Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and that means it's time for another Food for Thought Friday. Well, as it happens, I seem to keep returning to a few themes in the course of my thinking, and one of these themes is this idea of pleasure and pain. Now, there's an old belief that much of human behavior is governed by the pursuit of pleasure and or the avoidance of pain. And on the face of it, that seems to actually make quite a lot of intuitive sense. So it goes like this: the alarm bell goes off in the morning, we can get out of bed, we can go to work, or we can stay in bed and we can skip work. We got two choices. If we stay in bed, it may bring immediate pleasure of additional sleep, but it may bring the pain of disciplinary action on the job for missing our shift. And so we do a really quick and dirty calculation, and to maximize the pleasure, to minimize the pain, we drag ourselves out of bed and we go to work. Now we work an honest day, we get paid, maybe we even decide to go to bed early that night so we're not tired the following morning. But again, the decision to go to bed early is based on a quick and dirty calculation of pleasure and pain, and we find that, we might actually have greater short-term pleasure if we stay up late again. And so we defer the potential pain for the following morning. Now, we could say, well, that person lacks discipline, and okay, so that's fine. This is a hypothetical situation, but we've all done it. We've all sacrificed long-term pleasure for short-term pleasure, even when it results in long-term pain. We've all done it, so it's hypothetical, but we can relate. So here's the thought to consider. Why do we place such a premium on pleasure? We can consider survival of the species, and from that perspective, it probably makes sense. The things that bring pleasure, so good food, cohesive family or tribal unit, reproduction, these all bring pleasure, and they all serve to maximize the potential for survival and genetic longevity. The question is, should we then avoid pain at all costs? Now, a quick analysis of our current society would suggest so. We've got laws and mandates against specific speech to ensure that folks feel maximum pleasure and minimum pain. And the goal of the pursuit of happiness is above all else. But when is pain, or at least discomfort, a benefit? And are there times when we shouldn't avoid it? This last week, I had an experience of the absolute greatest pain that I've had in quite some time. I had a dental emergency, which was very painful and resulted in the necessary extraction of a tooth, which had formerly undergone a root canal and had been capped. This previous procedure was about a decade ago, and there was an issue in current. The pain leading up to the necessitating of the procedure was unbearable, bringing me to tears pre-procedure in the dentist's chair. The pain during the procedure, even more so. Now, despite the use of freezing medication, I found myself writhing in pain under the dental instruments, sweat pouring from my body, and tears silently running down my face as the dentist tried in vain to extract the root from a snapped off brittle molar, and I'm clenching fingernails into my thighs, trying to breathe through the agonizing and excruciating pain. And it was at this point that the dentist called in the orthodontic surgeon. After much more pain medication, the surgeon sliced into my gum and removed the roots within approximately 30 minutes. I was sent home with an antibiotic and a prescription for pain management. I have yet to use the pain medication. You know what? I have no pain. I can tell you that following the medical condition and the medical procedure, I have a much greater appreciation for the lack of pain. I find myself more grateful. And that is worth noting. You see, in our pursuit of happiness and our pursuit of pleasure and the at-all-cost avoidance of pain, and we simultaneously flood the internet with encouragement and rally cries to be positive and look on the bright side, we rampantly avoid anything that would threaten our happiness or pleasure. Now, if you haven't seen my previous post on toxic positivity, I'm going to link it here, and I'm going to give you a link of that video. But in that video, I refer to something that Aristotle wrote, and Aristotle wrote both fear and confidence, and appetite and anger, and pity, and in general, pleasure and pain, may be felt both too much and too little, and in both cases, not well. But to feel them at the right times, with reference to the right objects, toward the right people, with the right motive, and in the right way, is what is both intermediate and best. And this is characteristic of virtue. Virtue, then, is a state of character concerned with choice lying in a mean. So what if the very existence of periodic pain that results in an increased future appreciation and perceptions of pleasure, what if that's not to be avoided? Should we always avoid discomfort? And dare I even say, in our cultural context, offense? Maybe it's the discomfort which ultimately leads to greater future pleasure. Food for thought. Follow me for more.